Constructions in physical matter, although they have the greatest appearance and visibility, are constructions rooted in depths beyond the physical. Deconstructions will require dives into the same depths where constructions were and remain rooted. The proximity of the being to these roots will trigger alerts and require powerful defenses to prevent access that might annihilate them. The extreme abilities of intelligence will come into play, as intelligence is an element always available for any use by the being, as protection for what it defines as its reason for being. A drawing on the skin is not just a drawing on the skin, it is an expression of something confusing and unexplained, which will therefore require great cunning for the being to justify the misunderstanding or regret. This powerful game of the being with itself is a struggle that will bring the being to meet its greatest enemy, represented in so many allegories and metaphors in the most diverse texts, but which is none other than itself. Extremes will become magnified in this profound confrontation, but the only truly frightening thing is the self's own ignorance in bearing an incapacity for overcoming that it does not possess, since victory is guaranteed for the determined being. Observe that, in this game, it is stated that the being will be defined by its expressions, and it will be encouraged to act accordingly. To eliminate this imposition is to contradict the normalcy of things. Contradicting the normalcy of things places the being outside of normality, and whoever is not normal is abnormal. Therefore, mad. The being that understands the necessity of transgression and breaking with this normality knows it must be firm and silent without needing to shed the characters it represents, but already seeing itself as a stranger to the environment. The unmaskings removed the concepts, but brought intimacy with an element more solid than the one on which the character treads. The moment of limbo is a dangerous moment and carries some risk, as the transition from one environment to another includes an interval that, if not well understood and worked through, can bring difficulties to the being. It can also be used to frighten the being in order to bring it back, and afterward serve as a powerful tool to prevent the being from resuming its path. Many scholars have dedicated themselves, and still do, to understanding this, with an honest and admirable character, when seen as the study of the individual being, for the understanding of the being as a whole. More honest are those who understand that the study can never be real and true unless it follows a path traced by the being undertaking the study. In other words, if it is not experienced by the self, it will neither be understood nor correctly explained, for what happens to one being, happens only to it. Understanding others as a basis for self-understanding is honest and valuable, yet it will not lead the being to their rightful place. There is even the risk of redundant stagnation due to false understanding and interpretation, contradicting the often cited truth that the being is not the other and the other is not the being. Models are what they are, that is, merely models.